I'm excited tonight. I've been trying to really introduce this person to the community. She's been a part of our community, but I've been waiting for her to speak for several months, a part of 2024 and now into 2025. But finally, tonight, another new person who's going to be a part of our community. It's my pleasure and honor to present to you Sharon Davis, who is the CEO of S.J. Edwards Incorporated. She's going to tell some of her professional and personal journey. She is one of my sister friends, and I am amazed at all of the things that she's had to experience being a woman in business, and that she has triumphed over every challenge that she has faced. So I am excited tonight to present to you Sharon Davis.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First, I want to thank Anissa for the wonderful job that she's doing with the Women's Empowerment Group. Can we show her some love? And thank you very much for putting me after these two phenomenal orators. I'm not really happy about that. Because Anissa has pushed me out of my comfort zone. Public speaking is not something that I like to do. When I spoke to Anissa, I shared that with her, and she basically was not very sympathetic and said, do it anyway. But when she told me the topic was life experiences that impacted my leadership skills, I said to myself, how can you condense 70 years into 10 minutes? Because my journey spans over 7 decades of ebbs and flows, ups and downs, and an amazing life that even I could not have imagined. On June 18, 1954, I entered the world probably kicking and screaming and having the desire to go back to my warm, comfortable place in the womb of my mother, Eula Davis. But little did I know what I would have missed. My theme today is Climb Every Mountain. As a child, I grew up in a home filled with love, kindness, joy, and togetherness. From where I sat, I saw John and Eula Davis, my parents, and thought they were perfect in every way. I was the baby of 3 children, and in my opinion, I was the most special of the crew. This beauty was my reality. I was not aware of injustice, prejudice, racism, or hate. In fact, I didn't even know I was black until I went to school. Because my parents were built from a fabric different than most people, we never mistreated anyone or judged anyone because of their color, race, or creed. My parents always emphasized that there was only one race, the human race. However, in school, I learned a painful lesson. That mindset was not the same as most people in the world in the 1960s. So fast forward to this little 7-year-old girl with ponytails, pretty colorful bows in her hair. I had on my favorite dress and shoes full of great expectations and having a loving heart. I was so excited about the school trip we were going on that day. Mrs. Rose, who was my favorite teacher, lined us up in the classroom in a double line, boys in one line and girls in the other. She said, okay, everyone, hold hands. At that point, let's call him Little Johnny, said in a loud voice, I don't want to hold her hand. She's dirty. And that was in reference to the color of my skin. That day, when I looked at my hands, I realized I was different, and it wasn't in a good way. That moment changed my life. That was the first time I felt like less than that perfect child that my parents had sown so much love into. I didn't feel special anymore. And I still remember the feeling deep down inside and the tears I shed as I tried to figure out what's going on. That little girl was devastated, and my specialness dissolved into thin air. However, I also remember Mrs. Rose stepping in and defending me, scolding little Johnny for his insensitivity. And now I realize that Johnny was not at fault. It was his parents and his environment that taught him to do exactly what my parents forbid us to do. They forbid us to judge, hate, and mistreat people. Miss Rose tried to make me feel better, but the damage had been done, and that scar would remain open until much later in life. Now let's fast forward to junior high school. I lived in Bensonhurst, where I attended junior high school 281 from the age of 12 to 15. It was during the time when children were being bused into schools outside of their neighborhood to supposedly give them an opportunity for a better education. Many students were bused into my school from East New York and Bed-Stuy. But how do you even think about studying and getting good grades when you are running to the subway every day, being chased by a gang of men with bats and chains, yelling obscenities, and threatening your life? These were little Johnnies on steroids. And why? Only because these children were of a different race, creed, and color. People always make comments about my high heels, ladies. Look at I wear those now, but when I was in junior high school, guess what I was wearing? Sneakers and flats, just in case I had to run for my life, and Mrs. Rose was not there to save me. But there was another angel in my life by the name of Mr. Guasta Festa, our music teacher, who let me know that I was special. Does anyone remember the musical The Sound of Music with Julie Andrews? Yeah. Well, my school performed that play. And there was a beautiful song called Climb Every Mountain that was sung by the Mother Superior. It was the most popular song in the play. Now, I didn't get the role of Mother Superior because my acting wasn't so good. But when Mr. Lester Fester heard my voice when I auditioned, he said, I have to find a way for you to sing Climb Every Mountain. So he basically changed the whole scene where the song was sung, and I was chosen to sing Climb Every Mountain. I don't know how he got it approved, but he did. The night of the show, this little girl wasn't wearing barrettes in her hair, but I was wearing a nun's habit that represents purity, love, kindness, and humility. Well, long story short, I sang the song to the best of my ability and received a 5-minute standing ovation. Unbelievable. So I was even a trailblazer in junior high school. The same way I felt the tears of sadness run down my cheeks when Johnny wouldn't hold my hand in kindergarten, I felt tears of joy from the audience that embraced me in spite of the color of my skin. They celebrated my gift that had no color. Now let's take one more journey and then I'll get out of your way. And that's into the corporate world. My career in the corporate world spans 40 years, and I have learned so many lessons during that time. Some good and some not so good. But now I know that by just being the best I can be, staying focused, welcoming new opportunities, and helping others, I could beat the odds, and as the song said, I can climb every mountain. I am sure some of you ladies have experienced being in a meeting and feeling like you don't even exist because you were surrounded by men, sorry men, that felt superior and ignored your presence. It's like being invited to the prom, but nobody's asking you to dance. The Good Old Boys Network, as they called it and still call it now, was full of men who were little Johnnies, but now Johnny was wearing a 3-piece suit, ignoring my presence and made them feel superior. But guess what? This time, they couldn't make me feel less than that special little girl. Once I realized my talents and gifts were not acknowledged, I knew I couldn't fit in the corporate box, as you said. So guess what? I started my own company. That way, I could do things my way and could be the kind of leader that appreciates the team they work with, that builds people up instead of tearing them down, that is not afraid to lead with love and kindness and is interested in more than just the bottom line. When I wake up in the morning, I don't say, how much money can I make today? I say, how many people can I help and how can I serve? And that's what true leaders do. So for the little Johnnies of the world, poo-poo on you, I thank you for showing me how to love the people that treat me right and forgive the ones that don't. Thanks for waking me up to the reality of the world. But I am also grateful to my parents, my favorite teacher, Mrs. Rose, and my music teacher, Mr. Guasta Festa, who made a positive impact on my life. They also encouraged me to continue climbing mountains, never give up loving, and being excited about life, like that 7-year-old with ponytails and bows in her hair. So before I sit down, I want to encourage you to eat a Lifesaver every morning. Anybody like Lifesavers? My favorite is cherry. The L stands for love. Greet everyone with love, no matter how they make you feel. The I stands for ignore negativity. Protect the space, as you said. This is all you have. And when someone comes to you with negative energy or gossip or lies, whatever, keep them at a distance so they won't bring you down. F is for forgiveness. Forgive those that mistreat you. Holding on to bitterness is like drinking poison and hoping the other person dies. Let it go and move forward. The E stands for every day. Every day we have an opportunity. claim to get better and better, learn more, broaden your horizons, and have great experiences in life. The S is for silence. When you wake up in the morning, don't just jump out of the bed and get started. Meditate. For years, I've been listening to a meditation tape that says, when I open my eyes, and it's a Christian meditation tape, not to offend anybody, but that's what I do, and I've been doing it for years. It helps me prepare for my day. The A is for affirmation. Be grateful. Start the morning with gratitude affirmations. Something so simple as, I am grateful for another day, the air that I breathe, the beating of my heart, my family, my friends. You get it, right? Okay. The V is for vision. Imagine your day before you even start. Imagine you're having a fabulous day. Think about all the activities of the day and how successful you will be and what you will accomplish by the end of the day. And E, I don't really like this one, exercise. Move your body for at least 10 minutes in the morning. I turn on YouTube and put on Get Fit with Rick. He's very cute, by the way. Not only is he cute, but he makes walking fun. You don't have to start with 40 minutes, don't get crazy with it, but start with 10 minutes a day, and your body will thank you. And the R, which is my favorite. You have two hands. Reach out and touch someone in need, and seek out opportunities to help somebody. And don't look for anything in return. That way you will find joy and satisfaction in those acts of kindness. I guarantee you, if you eat a lifesaver every morning, you will reap incredible results. Your life will not be the same, and the best is yet to come. And I reiterate, love the people that treat you right and forgive the ones that don't. Don't let anyone make you feel that you are not enough. And as the song says, climb every mountain and forge every stream. Follow every rainbow until you find your dream. Don't stop climbing, ladies, and I will see you at the top.
Okay, so Miss Non-Public Speaking, put your hands together for Sharon. So I'm going to digress for 1 second, but if you listened intently, she said that she was 70. Okay? I mean, you're another level of 70 and fabulous. You are just fabulous, all right? We want to find out what you're eating, what you're drinking after, okay? Wow, there's a lot there. She told us to climb any mountain, and she said, never let anyone make you feel like you are not special. Okay? And when that happens, you have to take authority. And that's why we have to know within ourselves, deep within, who we really are. And when you know who you really are, no one can change that. No one can take that away from you. You can't let anyone take that away from you. Also, we should never let anyone make us feel that we aren't special, but we have to recognize that we all carry scars. All of us carry scars. But we have to exchange the scars and the shame and find joy in that, because those are life lessons. We learn something from those scars. Those scars have made you who you are right now. Sometimes we're afraid to say that. But as women, we have to own it so that we can, once we take ownership of it, then we can triumph over it. And it's so important that we do that. I also learned, because this is what you were I heard this, that God will always send you someone to help you to get to your next step. So he sent the teacher, the this one, and that one. He was pushing. He always has somebody that comes into your life during that season so that you can move to the next step in your journey. Don't be afraid to celebrate your difference. And if you're listening to all the speakers pretty much said, I'm different, I'm a little crazy, I'm different. But they embraced it, and they were able to celebrate it, and then the opportunities opened up for them. Don't be afraid to celebrate your gifts and your talents. Leaders serve others. Use your past to push you forward in your life. Use it. It's there for a reason. And that's so very important when we talk about that. And then another thing is she told us sometimes we just need to let it go. Let it go. So tell your neighbor, let it go. Let it go. You gotta let it go. We're not gonna sing with Elsa, but we gotta let it go. Let it go. We need to also, in our lives, we can let it go when we embrace the silence. The silence is a gift to you, but you have to claim that gift and embrace the silence so that you can let it go. And that's when you let it go and you embrace the silence, the only thing you can do is find that feeling of gratitude in that silence. And then finally, your vision's going to wake you up. Your vision's going to empower you. Your vision's going to give you energy to get to that next step. But you just have to be true to yourself so that you can get there. So thank you so very much, Sharon, for the beautiful words and